Give me your summary of what you saw from your son in the LSU offense on Saturday night.
Well, I think they might have started out a little slow, but anytime you can get that many yards and that many points, you gotta look at the positive things, and I'm sure that they are. You're happy at you look at things and say, well, we could have done this better, and we need to improve here, and so it's a work in progress. I think they'll continue to get even better.
We talked about it last week, and the numbers again here, Coach. 21 of 24. The accuracy and the precision that he's playing at right now. He threw for 373, had the 2 scores, and did have an interception before half. But just the accuracy and how he's throwing the football. He mentioned last week that the back shoulder pass to Jefferson before the half was one of the best throws that he had made at the position. You mentioned the drive. That was one of the best you had seen. He's continued to play with this accuracy at a high level. What do you make of how he's throwing the football?
Well, he's throwing the ball really well. I know he worked hard on it in the off season, and but a lot of that too starts with the improvement of really the whole offense, the offensive line, the protection. I mean, he has a clean pocket 95% of the time, and the receivers are catching the ball. I think I saw Joe made a comment. Even the bad throws that I'm making, that the receivers are making great catches. So it's all a team effort. But I think Joe's accuracy, it's really always been that way. And I know his percentage wasn't great last year, but in high school and even at Ohio State, the opportunities he had, the percentage was always very high.
Coach Jimmy Burrow joining us here, ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, and Alexandria, and off the bench. He's here every Tuesday morning. I tweeted out a piece of footage that ESPN showed on the sideline after the last scoring drive that he was in for. So the opening drive of the third quarter, he marches them down the field. They get the score. He comes out of the game. But then they have a shot of him on the sideline, Joe, talking to his offensive line, and he's getting after him, man. It looks like he's talking about something about body language or just the way that they're competing there, even though they had a big lead. I think they had just scored their 45th point. His natural leading ability, everywhere he's been, it seems like he's incorporated that.
I think that was probably just whatever it looked like. I mean, there was still some encouragement to, hey, let's finish this off and continue to get better. You've heard the saying, you either get better or you get worse in a practice or a game, and so my understanding, he just wanted to keep putting the pedal down to keep going and improve and get as many points as you can. They're all certainly not happy when things don't go as planned, but again, you got to look at the positives and go from there.
And, Jimmy, I want to ask you just kind of a more general football question because, there's not a ton that we're going to learn from this Northwestern game. Now, Vandy, there's definitely more online first conference team coming up this Saturday, but you are more than just Joe Burrow's dad. You're a great football mind and coach kind of in your own right. And so my question is, I want to ask you about what's going on with the Saints right now, just from a coaching perspective. Drew Brees looks like he might be out for about 6 weeks here. At least that's the word on the street. When you're a member of that staff and you kind of get in that nightmare scenario, and especially with the Saints, where like the defense is going to really have to step up, how do you manage those troubled waters? Like, how are you looking to navigate through that?
Well, I'm sure they have confidence in Bridgewater. I mean, he's proven, I think, before he got there that he's capable. But as a defensive coordinator and a defensive coach, you just try not to put any stock in really who's playing on the other side of the ball. I mean, it's totally separate. I don't know that there'd be any discussions that you would do anything differently on defense. You just continue to try to build on what you do and create turnovers and do anything you can to help out the offense, get them better field position, those more possessions, those type things. But can't really concern yourself, or at least I never did, and I don't think you should concern yourself about who's playing on the other side of the ball. There's a lot of teamwork going on between the two, offense and defense, but personnel-wise, you got to have confidence in who's over there, and I'm sure they do.
Has Joe talked to Drew Brees?
Not to my knowledge, no. I'm sure he talked to Joe Brady about Drew Brees, and I know he watched a lot of their film, over the summer, and it's because a lot of those things that they were installing were concepts from the Saints, but to my knowledge, he's never met or talked to Drew Brees.
Well, you know what feels like Drew Brees? 82% completion percentage feels like Drew Brees. It's unbelievable, man. But when you look at this LSU team, Jimmy, and we're talking to Jimmy Burrow, longtime coach, former NFL player, father of Joe Burrow. Ironically, after 3 weeks, everybody's cool with the offense, man. The offense is great, national contenders. It's the defense now that people are kind of a little questioning of. When you look at the Texas game and then maybe even the first half of this last game where the defense didn't have the best pass defense once again, as a defensive coach, what are you seeing there? Like, what were the problems for this LSU defense?
Well, I'm not going to get into what the problems that I would perceive, and I just know that Dave Aranda is a great coach, and whatever problems that they think they have, they'll fix it. We talked last week about getting used to being on the defense with the offense, playing fast, and the more opportunities that you're going to have on defense to play and get out on the field. But it's always early in the year to me. A defense has to get used to what they're seeing. I would assume that most people are doing different things to try to move the ball after playing so well last year on defense, and so you just got to continue to build on your philosophy and what you believe in, and Dave Aranda has had a lot of success with what he's doing, so I'm sure they'll tweak some things, but I have total confidence that they're going to end up playing great here very soon. So I'm excited to see it.
You heading to Nashville this weekend?
I will be there. We're about 6 hours, a little over 6 hours from Nashville. So there's going to be probably 150 to 200 people from Athens.
Wow.
To drive to watch LSU and to watch Joe. So. We're trying to work on getting together with as many people as we can. We have a local girl here from Athens that's singing and playing at a venue on Friday night. So it's a big weekend for our family and a big weekend for Athens people because it's the closest opportunity that they're going to have to see Joe and LSU in person.
You mentioned with the support and you taking the year off and having a chance to watch Joe play. Joe feels and looks like he's so comfortable now in South Louisiana and Baton Rouge, now making the trip back and forth for home games. Have you guys started to feel the culture and started to feel comfortable here in South Louisiana?
Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable how Joe has been treated since he's been there by the fans, from everybody. It's great. Our family, certainly some people recognize it's not that hard when we have number 9 jerseys on with Burrow on our back, but people are great. We've been treated awesome. My tailgate stamina is not what it needs to be.
Well,
not used to that, and didn't even really realize how long you're actually at a tailgate, and so it's we couldn't be happier with the way it's all turned out since Joe committed to LSU. It seems like an eternity ago, but it really was just a little over a year ago that whole process started and ended.
And so this is actually something I wanted to ask you about, because at LSU, ideally Tigers are always looking to play night games. In the Midwest, it is not the tradition. Well, this is an 11 a.m. kickoff Saturday. Is Joe used to this kind of kickoff time, and kind of what are the challenges when the game's going to begin before noon?
Yeah, it changes a lot of your Saturday morning for sure. In the Big Ten, there were a lot of 11 o'clock games, so I think Joe was involved in that. But just getting up and so early and getting your pregame meal and whatever you normally do for preparation, meetings, walkthroughs. I mean, it's a total change. But Joe's going to be excited to be there, and I know he likes playing early so that they can get back to Baton Rouge and maybe catch some games on TV.
Yeah.
I mean, we got back to his apartment last week. I think at midnight to catch the tail end of the Pac-10 game. But a lot of changes have to take place, and I'm sure they've been preparing for this weekend. Really all summer as a operations staff and a coaching staff to make sure they're on point with what needs to be done. And you can also reach out to other people that you have friends on their staff and to see what they do, and then you go from there. But LSU will be ready.
Coach, safe travels to Nashville. We'll talk to you next week. Thank you for the time this morning.